Hello and welcome back to Mastering AWS, featuring Identity and Access Management. Today we are going to make some modifications to the user via the command line interface. So let's get started. As you can see, I am already logged into my EC2 instance via SSH and the terminal. If you have not done so already, please view the previous lecture, how to use the EC2 instance to log into the AWS via the command line. Once again, the reason why I'm choosing this way is it actually makes it a little bit easier. Instead of having to install the AWS command line on PuTTY or Terminal or Cygwin or what have you, you can just do it through the EC2 instance. And then in fact, as I mentioned in the previous lecture, you can actually log in through a Java client. So let's get started. What we're going to do is we are going to create a user. We are going to add a user to a group. We are going to get a user, so basically view the permissions, list a user, and then delete a user. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to list all of my users. And to do that, I'm going to type in AWS IAM. I'm going to type in AWS IAM list -users, and this is going to list all of the users that I currently have set up with this account. And as you can see in the background, I have Alston, I have Ted, and I have Udemy. And you can see when they last logged in, and as well as when they were created, and their Amazon resource name. So the next thing I want to do is I want to create a new user. So let's say we have a new employee at my large mega firm, and I need to add that user to our identity and access management. So instead of logging into the console, I'm just going to simply type in AWS IAM create -user, and then --user -name. And I'm going to give him the name of Frank. Let's see what happens. Alright, and it looks like Frank was created successfully. And to confirm that, I'm just going to refresh the screen, and I should have a Frank. There you are. Now, Frank currently doesn't have any permissions. And so what we'll have to do is we'll have to add a policy, attach a policy, or put him in a group or both, so that he can get some permissions. So the next thing that we'd want to do is add a policy or role to Frank's account or profile so that he can access different things. Currently, he doesn't have access to anything, so if he attempted to go to S3 or what have you, it would say access denied. Before we can add a policy to Frank's account, we need to figure out the name, the Amazon resource name of the policy. And to do that, you simply type in AWS IAM list policies. And this is going to bring up every policy that AWS offers. And so basically what we'd be looking for is we want the ARN, that stands for Amazon Resource Name. And so what we would do, I'm just going to scroll all the way back up to the top and get the Amazon Resource Name for full administrator access. This one right here. I am just going to copy this. Make sure. Yep. So it looks like I copied the right one. And the next step is to add this access to Frank's account. So I'm going to clear the screen, and then we're going to add full administrator access to Frank's account. And to do that, we should just be able to type in AWS IAM attach user policy, and then we need to enter in the username, so --username, and this is going to be for Frank, and then we need to enter in the policy ARN, and I'm just going to paste that in, and let's see if that works. Alright, so let's verify that the policy we just attached worked correctly. And to do that, we are going to type in AWS IAM list attached user policies. And then we need the username. And our name is Frank. And so there you go. You can see I have the administrator access and then the policy ARN. And then we can also verify that by clicking Frank. And you can see that he has administrator access. So the next thing I guess we should do is let's attach Frank to a group. We currently have we have two groups. We have HR and we have marketing. Right now marketing has 0 users, so maybe we should add Frank to the marketing group. To add Frank to the group, we are simply going to type in AWS IAM add user to group -- user -name Frank -- group -name marketing. All right, and then again, we're going to verify that that worked. One of two ways. We can go to the console and go to the marketing group to see if there's one person added. We can also verify that by the command line. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to click on groups, and it looks like we have one person in marketing, so that's a good sign. And that person is Frank, so that's good. The other thing we want to do is let's verify that Frank is in that group via the command line. There are a few different ways to verify that Frank is in that marketing group. We are going to try and type in AWS IAM get group -- group -name marketing. Then as you can see, Frank is one of the users. We could actually search by Frank's name. We could search by the group name. Like I said, there are a couple different ways that we could do that. So we've created a user. We've added that user to the group. We've listed our users. Now let's remove Frank from HR. Let's remove Frank from marketing and delete him entirely. So the first thing we're going to do is remove Frank from the marketing group. To remove Frank from the marketing group, it's actually pretty easy. You type in AWS IAM remove user from group -- user name Frank. Then group name. Let's say marketing. All right, let's test and see if that worked. And as you can see, my users, there are nobody in the users, so Frank was successfully removed. We can also verify that by going to groups and see that marketing is back to 0. So Frank has been successfully removed. The next thing we want to do is we want to delete Frank. He is no longer with our company, and so we want to get rid of him through the command line. Before we can delete Frank completely, we must remove any policies that he has listed. And to do that, we'll have to type in AWS IAM detach user policy. And then with this policy, we need to add in username of Frank and then the policy ARN. Then we'll paste that in. All right, that looks like that worked successfully. And then the final thing that we want to do is we want to go in and we want to delete Frank altogether. So I'm going to clear the screen. And then if we type in AWS IAM delete -user -Frank, or -- user - name, Frank, he should be deleted altogether. And then to verify that, if we just list our users like we did when we first started. All right, so we're simply going to type in the command AWS IAM list - users. And as you can see, we are back to 3 users. Frank is no longer with us. If we click users, you can see Frank is no longer there. So we have successfully created Frank. We added Frank to the marketing group. We removed Frank from the marketing group. We listed all of our users, both at the beginning and the end. We deleted Frank, but before we did that, we detached him from the policy that we added him to, and we removed him from the group. So we did a lot in a little bit of time with Frank. He spent a total of about 10 minutes with the company. In the next lecture, we are actually going to do something very similar with the group. We are going to create a new group. We'll add people to the group. We'll attach policies to the group. We'll list the group. We'll delete the group. And then go on from there. So thanks for watching, and we will see you soon.